That's your best possible chance to build rapport with a person. See, if you go to somebody and say, hey, let me tell you how great I am, let me tell you how awesome everything is, let me tell you how amazing everything is, you're not building a relationship with that person, really. You're just being a big shot. And people do business with people they like, they trust. When you build some belief, you transfer that belief, you build some trust. They relax and they feel comfortable with you. Okay? So you don't really get an opportunity. When you're just presenting and they're listening, you don't get an opportunity to build trust. You can't really transfer belief in that process. What I will tell you is there's only two objections out there. Two main objections. One is they have a limiting belief about themselves, and the other is they have a limiting belief about network marketing. That's all there is. So if you think of any objection, I don't have the money. That's a limiting belief about themselves. I don't have the time, limiting belief about themselves. I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have any experience, limiting belief about themselves. Okay, I can't sell, limiting belief, right? Or it's a pyramid thing, I don't really believe it, only people at the top make money, that's a limiting belief about network marketing. Yeah? So, people's, so what's an objection that you get on a regular basis? Anybody?
Don't have time.
I don't have time. Limiting belief about themselves.
I can't sell something.
Can't sell. Limiting belief about themselves.
I don't know.
Too expensive. Limiting belief about network marketing or about themselves. Either one. Because too expensive compared to what?
Just life.
Right.
I can't afford it.
I don't have the money.
I don't get it, yeah.
I don't have the money. Limiting belief about themselves.
I've done this before and I didn't make it.
I've done this before. Limiting belief about network marketing and themselves.
I need something stable.
I'm no good at this. I need something stable.
Yeah.
Limiting belief
Yeah.
about network marketing. That's unstable. Huh?
I need a real job.
Your real job. Okay? So there's a very simple process with each one of these things. And I'll give you some examples. One, relate to them. And I'll explain what that means, and I'll role play with you just to give you some examples of how you build rapport with a person. Two, tell stories. Three, ask questions. Or you can alternate these. Ask questions, tell stories, ask questions. Either one. So, you come to me and you say, I don't have the money. I just can't do it. I don't have the money. First thing you got to do is relate. Listen, I understand. Who has extra money? Who has just, money sitting around? All of us have challenges and issues and pressures and bills and demands on us and responsibilities. I totally get it. I totally get it. When I first looked at this, I had the same thought. I don't know if I have the extra money to be able to invest in something like this. Right? So I immediately say, I'm like you. You have the same thought I have. We're the same. Right? So, and then, what a lot of people do, when somebody says they don't have the money, it just says, well, look, are you ready to change your life or you just want to stay a loser? And they do that a lot. Or they just say, hey, if your why is enough, then you'll figure out a way. And if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you're going to make a change.
My previous upline, he taught me to say this, and I won't say this. When someone said they don't have the money, he says, well, just say, well, you always want to be broken poor? You
Right.
really got to do this. I'm like, oh, they're going to hate me.
Right, and they will. And they will. You will not build rapport with that. And listen, I've made every mistake there is. I've done all that stuff. I've been the super bold. Are you embarrassed about saying you don't have the money? You're 40 years old. Come on. You've had 40 years to be able to get $1,000 to be able to build a business, and you tell me you haven't figured that part out? Come on. I mean, I've done all that terrible stuff. Right? And sometimes it works if you're bold enough, but it doesn't build rapport. So you tell me I don't have the money, and I said, look, I totally get it. Everybody's struggling. No matter how much you're making, it doesn't seem like you can hold on to it, and it's just like, Do you want to add more pressure to already pressured situation? Let me tell you what I decided. You know, give me that objection. Let me tell you what mattered to me when I looked at this, because I had the same thought you had. Is I kind of took a look at where I was spending my money, and I looked at what was going on in my life, and what I kind of realized that if I didn't make a change, if I didn't do something different, I was never going to have the money. I was never, wasn't something on the horizon that was ever going to break something free for me. So I tell my story and build my rut. I don't tell them you're never going to have the money. I said I realized I was never going to have the money. So, and when I really looked at this, I decided that if I felt it was important enough and valuable enough, I'd figure it out. I'd figure it out. What I know about you and me is we can figure it out if we really want to. You know, if it's important to us, we'll find a way. We'll say no to 4 or 5 movies. You know, we'll say no to expensive coffee at Starbucks for a month. You know, we'll just say no to a few things. Turn a few things off and redirect some of our energy, and we'll figure out a way to be able to do this. The other thing I figured out is you weren't giving the money away for forever. It was just the seed money to start something. So I figured out that I could get my money back in a reasonable period of time and then start making a profit. So I tell the story, my story, and I let them relate to my story without telling them it's their story. That make sense? So when you relate to them, number one, you let them feel heard. You tell them they're not crazy. You let them feel respected and heard. And they go, okay, you know, they're not pushing back. Thank you for listening to me. And then I tell my story, and I let them kind of imagine in their mind, maybe what he did I could do too, without telling them to do it. And then I ask them a question, if I, would you? So if I could show you how to do this, and we could kind of brainstorm together and figure out a way to do this that wasn't going to put you in severe financial distress, but was going to help you start a business that could maybe add to your cash flow and decrease the financial drama in your life. If I could show you how to do that and get a return of your investment relatively quick, and then a return on your investment after that, if I could show you how to fit it into a busy lifestyle, would you be willing to continue the process and keep moving down the road? The answer is going to be always, sure, yeah, sure. If you can show me that, then we can talk. Because the thing you need to understand about objections is most of the time it's not real. One, you've been trained your whole life to say no to opportunity. If I told all of you today, hey, guess what? I have a great real estate investment that if you take your extra cash and put it in, I think we can make some money. Okay? And even though you trust me, if I made that real right now, many of you are going to go, I'm not so sure. Even though you trust me. I don't know if I need another real estate thing in my life. If I give you a stock tip, here's a stock tip. I'm not so sure I want to invest in stock right now. Trained to do that. The other thing is, when you walk into a retail store, you say, and you're going and you need help and you want to buy something. You walk in, a person says, can I help you? What do you tell them? No, I'm just looking. You lie. You give them an objection and you lie to them. Now, it's not real. What typically happens, you wander around for a while, and they say, are you sure? And finally you say, yeah, okay, well, show me this thing. Okay? That's where we've been trained to put up some resistance to opportunity. Any kind of opportunity, any kind of help or support. We put our pride up. No, I got it, I got it. You know? the wife says to the husband, do you want to get directions to where we're going, or you want to stay lost? I got it. I don't need to ask for help. I got it.
How nice of you to
The other thing that you need to understand about objections and questions is we've been taught our whole life to show weakness is death. You cannot show weakness in your career, in your workplace. If people ask how you're doing, you got to say, I'm fine. How many people are just ready to say, hey, listen, I was praying for an opportunity because I'm miserable in my job. I hate everything that's going on. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I'm stressed out. Who's going to walk around and say that story? We've been trained to say, I'm good, I'm fine. You know? So we've been trained not to show weakness. We've been trained to only, portray strength. So the only way you can get past that facade, person says, no, I'm fine, I don't need any extra cash flow. Well, that's a lie. Of course they would like to have some extra cash flow. But they're going to tell you, no, I don't need it, I'm good. I have a career, I have a business, I'm fine. You know, I love my job. They'll tell you these things when they don't. Okay, so understand that most of what you get in an objection is an illusion. It's not real. So, all of that said, relate to them, tell stories, ask questions. Now, if somebody has, you could go the other way. You can ask questions and tell stories. So you can relate to them. Somebody says, let me talk to you about the network marketing. You get big resistance about network marketing. I'm out, I'm not interested. Don't talk to me about network marketing. Heard it, been there, done that. You get all that stuff. I used to hate that. Because I felt the need to educate them. Listen, let me tell you why you're stupid and why network marketing is good. You're dogging my career path, my decisions, That's not good, let me help you not be ignorant. And I would do that. And then I finally learned that it's not about that. It's about not giving them big resistance and just building rapport. So somebody comes to me, how many people in this room have said never, ever, ever, no matter what, I'm not doing network marketing? So, let's say I come to you, and I say, hey, I got this thing, and you go, stop, is this network marketing? And I go, well, yeah, it is. And I'm not interested, don't talk to me about it. My immediate reaction to that is, hold on, forget about, my company, my product, or whatever, you've got a story. What happened? Was it you? Was it a family member? Somebody got involved and something happened. What happened?
I got involved and lost 20 grand.
You got involved and lost 20 grand. So what was the company?
Shape Right.
Shape Right. And what did they do?
They sold nutritional natural products.
Nutritional natural products. And why do you think you lost 20 grand? How did that happen?
Well, because I tried to do what I was told I was supposed to do and spent all this money and nobody.
How did you spend the money? What did you spend it on?
Oh, I went to hotels and booked rooms and had meetings that nobody showed up to and put ads in newspapers and nobody answered them.
So did you think it was it the company that let you down? Was it the leadership? The upline leadership telling you what to do that maybe let you down? Was it the system that was bad? What do you think it was?
I think it was because I was new and I was trying to follow what they were doing, and
Yeah.
so they were doing something on a big scale, and I tried to do the big scale, and that just didn't work.
It didn't work for you. So do you think it was network marketing? Was it the products that let you down? Was it the system? Was it the did you ever get any customers or
A couple of
any
customers
distributors?
here and there, a couple of distributors, but nothing that ever panned out.
Nothing ever panned out. So when was finally enough? Let me just say
20 grand.
I've had it. So you were 20 grand in, and you said, that's it, I've had it. Do you think it was that system, or do you think it was the network marketing profession that let you down? Was it the wrong kind of support?
I think it was I tried to do. I think it was me. I think I tried to do what I thought looked like they were doing, and I just wasn't doing everything, and maybe a little lacking some guidance.
Lacking some guidance. I totally get it. First of all, I'm sorry that happened. That had to be painful. And how did you end up, kind of covering that $20,000 loss?
Home equity loan.
The home equity loan. Yeah, so
Very
even more.
patient husband.
Yeah, so your husband, what did your husband think at the end of that process?
Yeah, we gotta stop this, honey. Let's
Gotta stop it.
pay off
Enough,
the debt.
enough is enough. Let's be reasonable. Let's be sensitive.
Right.
Well, you hear what I'm doing there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting her feel heard. She probably never got to tell that story, really. Anybody that cared,
Exactly.
right? Did you feel heard? Was it nice to be able to kind of talk about it? It wasn't, so we just talked for a minute, right? Relating to her. Oh my gosh. Asking questions. Tell me about it. How did that feel? Where do you think if you're pointing to it, where do you think it all happened? All that stuff, getting the answers, just listening. And we went way away from recruiting zone, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah? So all of a sudden we're two human beings talking about entrepreneurial stuff. So I ask those questions for clarity. And then I'm also saying, look, I relate to it too, because I had people in my family that tried it, and I tried it. It didn't really work out for me the way I hoped, But let me ask you a question. If there was a product that you believed in, one, and there was a system that didn't require big investment, two, and there was leadership that you believed in, that you could build something at your pace without having to try to be somebody else, grow something where you felt like you were making a difference, work with a company that you respected, would you ever be willing to open the door and give network marketing another look?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Fine. That's all I need is a perhaps. And all I want to do is, what I found out is if somebody's ever gotten involved in network marketing before, it's in their blood a little bit. And if you got involved before, you know what I know about you? It's in your blood a little bit. You kind of have some unfinished business. And if you emotionally kind of get past it and feel like you're going to get the right kind of support, it's the right situation, you'd like to go finish that business at some point, and do what you're signed up to do in the first place. The fact that you did it before tells me a lot about your entrepreneurial spirit. Tells me a lot. And I know you're not done. I know you haven't given up.
That's why I came back.
That's why you're right. But if we were having this conversation before you did, if I had that conversation, we're and whether, hey, look, if you're still too mad at it, it's too raw, it's too fresh. Hey, I'm your friend. If you ever find yourself wondering again, let's talk. But look, I'm not here to twist your arm.